Every evening, outside the busiest general hospital in the city, a strangely heart-wrenching scene would unfold. A gentle dog, white with patches of brown and eyes filled with deep sorrow, would come and sit quietly at the hospital's main entrance. He never barked, never disturbed anyone. He simply lay silently on the steps as if waiting for someone. The first encounter. Dr. Imran, a young house surgeon at the hospital, noticed the dog for the first time and was intrigued. "Why does this dog come here every day?" he asked the security guard. The guard replied, "Sir, he's been coming here for months. Sometimes relatives of patients feed him, but he never follows anyone. He shows up every evening and leaves in the morning." Dr. Imran grew curious. He noticed an old collar around the dog's neck with a faded phone number written on it. Thinking he might solve the mystery, he dialed the number, his hands trembling slightly. The phone rang several times. With each ring, his heartbeat quickened, until finally, a weak, tired voice answered. "Hello?" came the shaky voice of an elderly woman, full of unease. "Sorry to bother you, ma'am. This is Dr. Imran calling from General Hospital. Do you happen to own a white and brown dog named Snowy?" There was silence on the other end. Then a soft gasp broke through. "Oh God, Snowy. He's alive. Is he okay?" Her voice was now quivering. "Yes, he's perfectly fine. He visits our hospital daily. Could you tell me more about him?" Tears could now be heard through the phone. "Doctor, Snowy belonged to my daughter Sarah. My beautiful, moon-faced Sarah." Her voice broke. "Take your time, ma'am," said Dr. Imran gently.
"I'm listening."
The old woman began, sobbing. 2 years ago, Sarah was diagnosed with leukemia. She was treated at your hospital. Snowy was her childhood companion. Whenever Sarah was admitted, Snowy would come with her. The hospital wouldn't allow him inside, but he would wait outside the door every single day. She paused briefly, then added with pain. In her final days, when Sarah was on a ventilator, Snowy sat outside the hospital for 3 days straight. He didn't eat, didn't move. When my daughter passed away, he let out a cry I can never forget, as if he somehow knew she was gone. Dr. Imran's eyes welled up. He tried hard to hold back the storm of emotions within. The mother continued, "After the burial, we brought Snowy back home. But every day, he would vanish. One day, we followed him. He went straight to the hospital and sat on the stairs outside Sarah's ward, waiting for her." Her voice broke again. "Doctor, do you know what Sarah's last wish was?" She said, "Mom, if I go, please take care of Snowy. He will keep waiting for me." And that's what he's been doing. He's still waiting. Dr. Imran couldn't hold back his tears anymore. He looked outside. The dog was still sitting at the same spot, his eyes filled with a depth of understanding rarely seen even in humans. He asked gently, "Has this been going on for months?" "Yes, doctor," the woman replied. "It's been over a year. We've tried bringing him home again and again, but he always runs back. Perhaps he still believes that if he waits there long enough, Sarah will come back." Just then, Snowy let out a soft whimper, as if he understood their conversation. For Dr. Imran, this moment became unbearable. He realized this wasn't just a dog, it was a living embodiment of love and loyalty. The old woman's voice trembled once more. "Doctor, I'm growing old. My health isn't what it used to be. Would you be willing to keep Snowy with you?" Dr. Imran's heart tightened. His lips trembled. He had seen the pain of thousands of patients, but today, the loyalty of a helpless animal had shaken him to the core. As he walked toward Snowy, his steps were heavy. The dog was still sitting in the same spot, still waiting. There was sorrow in his eyes that tore through the doctor's heart. Dr. Imran knelt beside him and gently placed his hand on Snowy's head. "Snowy," his voice was shaking, "Sarah is not coming back, dear. She's gone." Snowy raised his deep, brown eyes to look at the doctor. There was a question in them, one that couldn't be spoken aloud. Did he truly understand? Or was he still clinging to hope that one day, his owner would return and hold him again? Tears rolled down Dr. Imran's cheeks. He hugged Snowy, and the dog, like a human, rested his head on the doctor's shoulder. He was silent, but the faint shiver in his body said everything. And then, as if some magic had happened, Snowy let out a soft sigh. Maybe he had finally realized that Sarah would never return. But perhaps he had found a new comfort. Dr. Imran had made his decision. He would take Snowy home. Not just because the dog was lonely, but because his loyalty had taught the doctor a new lesson in love and life. Did Snowy truly understand? Or was he still hoping that one day she would return? Dr. Imran took Snowy to his car, but fear still gripped his heart. Would Snowy ever forget his old home? Would he ever be free from Sarah's memory? As the car pulled away, Snowy sat quietly in the back seat, his nose pressed to the window, watching the hospital fade into the distance. There was a strange anxiety in his eyes, as though he was asking himself, "Am I really leaving?"
Am uno abandoning Sara.
When they arrived at the doctor's flat, Snowy paused at the doorstep. Dr. Imran opened the door, but the dog wouldn't go in. He stood still, scared of stepping into an unfamiliar world.
Come on, Snowy.
"This is your home now," Dr. Imran whispered. Snowy took a deep breath and finally walked in. He sniffed everything, then sat quietly in a corner. The doctor laid out a soft bed, food, and water, but Snowy didn't touch anything. He just stared at the wall, as though still waiting to hear her voice. In the first week, Snowy barely ate. He would sit by the door, waiting. Dr. Imran would sit beside him, petting him gently, talking softly. "I know you miss her, Snowy. I understand your pain." Then one evening, Dr. Imran came home tired from work, and for the first time, Snowy was waiting for him at the door. "Did you miss me, Snowy?" he asked with a smile. Snowy wagged his tail, just a little, but it was a beginning. Weeks went by, and Snowy slowly began to change. He started going to the park with Dr. Imran, sat beside him while he watched TV, and at night, he'd sleep beside his bed. One day, when Dr. Imran fell ill, Snowy didn't leave his bedside, staying there like a guardian angel. Dr. Imran realized that Snowy was no longer just a pet, he had become family. Then one day, he received a letter from Sarah's mother. Asterisk, "Dear doctor, I heard you adopted Snowy. You have no idea how much you've lightened my burden. I saw Sarah in my dreams. She was smiling. Perhaps she knows now that her Snowy is in safe hands. Thank you." As Dr. Imran read the letter, he couldn't stop his tears. Snowy, sitting beside him, placed his head gently on the doctor's knee, as if saying, "Asterisk, we're going to be okay." One evening, as the sun was setting over the hospital rooftop, Dr. Imran noticed Sunio sitting by the window, lost in a distant view. There was the same old sadness in his eyes, but now there was a new peace alongside it. The doctor quietly sat beside him, and without a word, Sunio rested his head on the doctor's shoulder. Silence filled the room, broken only by the ticking of the wall clock. As the doctor ran his fingers through Sunio's soft fur, he realized how time had gently healed the wounds they both carried. Gone were the days when Sunio cried softly through the night or waited by the door for someone who would never return. Now, when the doctor returned home from his clinic, Sunio would greet him at the door, try to carry his bag, and sometimes even bring his ringing phone. On nights when Dr. Imran stayed up late reviewing patient records, Sunio would sleep at his feet, as if to say, "It's okay, rest now, you need it." One night, when the doctor was burning with fever, Sunio licked his hand to wake him and pointed toward the medicine. Dr. Imran was stunned when he saw that Sunio had even pushed the medicine strip closer to him. "You understand, don't you?" he asked in wonder. Sunio wagged his tail, as if to reply, "Yes, I do." Sometimes, that old sadness would still return to Sunio's eyes, especially when walking past the hospital and catching a glimpse of the familiar staircase. But now, he would pause only for a moment, then look up at the doctor and walk on, as if saying, "Let's go. That's not our home anymore." Dr. Imran often wondered if Sarah knew her loyal friend was now in safe hands. Maybe she did, because sometimes, late at night, he would wake up and see Sunio smiling in his sleep, as if lost in a beautiful dream. And in that moment, the doctor was certain that the dream carried a message from another world. Today, as the two sit on their balcony in the evening breeze, Sunio lies by the doctor's feet while the doctor gently strokes his head. In their silence, a conversation is taking place, a conversation beyond words, from the depths of the heart. It says that love never dies, it simply changes form. The city lights begin to twinkle, and in the distance, Even the hospital building is glowing. But Sunio no longer looks in that direction. He gazes at the doctor instead, and in both their eyes is the same question, "Shall we go inside?" And then, they rise together, waiting for a new dawn.